So you might have been following my recent videos where I covered that the Astral Lockbox was dropping the wrong mount. A week later, the devs go and confirm this and say they've went and updated the lockbox. They did promise compensation, and where is that? Well, they actually did go and deliver on their promise. Those of you who got the gold wings mount should have received the pink Sylph wings mount in most cases. In this video, we're going to cover the compensation, the news from the devs in that regard, and then move on to compensation for the battle pass, and then some more information on the Ranger Warden and confirmation that the devs are now working on it. They've already made a few adjustments and we can see what their thought process and strategies are. So first things first, the pink Sylph wings. What have they gone and done? Well, since Brett Norton went and confirmed that they were aware that that was broken and they would come out with a formal response, he now posts that compensation is in process, hopefully mostly complete at this point. It is automated, but not instantaneous. If you acquired a Golden Dragon Wings mount from the Astral Lockbox and did not receive a pink Sylph Wings mount as compensation, please let them know. Not exactly clear on that, but basically anyone who obtained the wrong mount, as per this video again, the Gold Dragon Wings, should receive a mail just like this. We have mistakenly awarded you with the wrong mount in our recent Astral Lockbox. Please accept our apologies and this mount as compensation. Thank you for supporting Neverwinter. And what you obtain is the pink Sylph Wings, account-wide, unbound. You can go sell it if you wish. And that's just very nice. They're not going to remove your Gold Dragon Wings, but they are going to give you the pink Sylph Wings. Again, only for those who actually dropped the wrong mount. So if you want to pick up the pink Sylph Wings for yourself, well, there are some good deals here on the auction house. I'm surprised somebody's posting it as low as 3.7 million. It should probably be worth more than that, but I guess he wants a quick sell and some quick Astral Diamonds. But that does confirm that they are being awarded. Just be aware, this compensation is only in the window of the 2 weeks of the Bazaar event. The players affected during that. They will be looking at players who were affected since the launch of Module 27, where the contents of the existing Astral Lockbox were updated. So again, if you received the wrong mount prior to the Wondrous Bazaar event, where they just came out with the lockboxes on resale there, then you should also get compensated. And again, if you have not, and you clearly know you did obtain a Gold Wings mount very recently, be sure to go and contact them. But moving on from there, the battle pass is currently over, but if you have the premium pass, you have the last chance event up until April the 23rd, as per the calendar. That's it right here. So you should be able to make progress on it, but there was a week where you were not able to, and so you were stuck doing tasks and not getting any XP. So you should also have received compensation. Again, you should get it by the in-game mail. If you didn't, let them know. But be aware, you have to have the premium pass to have obtained that, and you have to have had the premium pass before that week when it affected you. Otherwise, it's no big deal. The entire battle pass, you can purchase the premium pass and complete it within 13 days. Those of us here, we can just get the buyout, which is actually a bit weird. Why can't I get the premium pass and then just make progress on it? They're charging me extra Zen where I'd prefer to spend time. I mean, I guess I missed to buy it when the battle pass was active, but it's no big deal. Again, this battle pass is very underwhelming. I would not get it. It just doesn't have anything new with it, except again, of course, this artifact, which you can just get better alternatives elsewhere. But we move on to the Ranger Warden and upcoming updates with that. Some dev news. Now, on my last update video, we did cover that, yes, the Bard updates are pretty much done. Just a few quality of life improvements going to be happening, and Warden has been started. They're collecting data and looking at what they can change. And again, their goal is to make it viable in single target and multi-target, be competitive versus Hunter. So we have some more news of what's actually going to be happening. We can see they're now in the weeds of a lot of Ranger and Warden changes. there will be, of course, some things that will affect Hunter as well. So some notes on their approach. They'll be revising the balance of core powers, so at wills, counters, and dailies. This will affect some base Ranger powers, so Hunter will get some side benefits there. On a side note, Hindering Strike is a bit of a balance outlier, and they're not likely to target that as a result. And also, powers like Throw Caution are woefully underpowered, and they'll be getting some massive boosts. That's this ability here, which is only giving 100 magnitude damage. Then they will be fixing some bugs with Rain of Arrows and Split the Sky. Will have their effects start pretty much instantly after you cast it. That'll be good. And they'll be altering stat buffs like Boarhide to have percentage based rather than just giving ratings like as it does right now. It just give you like a ton of ratings per stack rather than just percentages, and percentages would be a lot more useful there, so that would be a pretty big improvement, but they'll still be very niche abilities when to use them. So their first pass should hopefully make, short of massive reworks, many of the Warden's at-wills and encounter powers more viable build choices. After they do get the base powers to offer more meaningful build decisions, they'll look at features, feats, and mechanics. They do want more diverse playstyles for Warden, rather than it being just stay in melee stance. They don't know what that will be yet, but they don't want to make it exactly a copy of, say, Hunter's Rate of Change, where you're continually popping in and out of the different stances just to remain having a high damage buff. But they don't want like Focused, which entices you to always stay in a certain stance. I'm sure they'll make it somewhat viable, but they do want you to take advantage of switching stances, as that's a key unique feature of the class as a whole. But speaking of rate of change, they do want to tweak it to make it a little bit more friendly. Make it so the buff lasts 9 seconds and basically falls off at 5% every 3 seconds instead of falling off 2% every second and only lasting 8 seconds. Meaning, since you are losing damage every second, you needed to basically swap stances every second on Ranger Hunter right now, which is a bit crazy. Again, that's just to keep refreshing the rate of change 15% damage buff. So this will just be a very nice quality of life improvement for Hunter, allowing you to not need to switch stats every bleeding second. It would now just be every 3 seconds. So you'll still play basically the same, just not as punishing if you don't continually spam your tab ability stance switching. So that looks pretty decent in my opinion. They're going to first of all look at wills, increasing their effectiveness, and then moving to encounter powers, making them more viable and competitive to actually be useful. But after they've gone and looked at that, and along with daily powers, they'll be then looking at the features and feats and mechanics as well. But moving on, some players were giving feedback and Brett Norton was interacting and says yes, they'll be fixing some of the bugs that multi-target powers have, like very limited target caps. Some notes on some of the comments that the Sky is actually supposed to be a single target power with just a fancy setup, so there wouldn't really be any point changing the target cap on that. You can see that just here. It'll show it's a massive area, but it's going to hit 4 times and just hit one target at a time. You can see it just nuked that one, it nukes that one, and then it's basically random between which one it's going to hit. That's it, it's done. Hit 5 times, and that's the entire thing. So it's basically a single target power at 155 magnitude per strike, so nearly 800 magnitude there. Not the worst, just very long cooldown. And to be honest, it's actually one of the coolest Warden powers in terms of just the visuals. Summons a little storm which rains down and strikes lightning occasionally at targets. But again, it's supposed to be a single target power. And we can see here's an example of adjustments that they would make. We have Split the Sky would become 5 hits of 200 magnitude, so an improvement there. And then Throw Caution would go like to 400 magnitude and lose that negative of losing defense when you cast it. They didn't adjust the cooldowns though, so that would be neat, but that's just, again, one little step that they might make moving forward. Now, he did talk about how, yeah, some abilities could be used multiple times, but they don't really want that because in terms of a visual effects standpoint, it's not great. Let's say you wanted to put down 2 storms back to back because you were able to get enough cooldown reduction. They don't really want you to be able to do that. So they'll probably balance the power around having a longer cooldown, and so you're not spamming the ability too much. But they might shorten the duration as well to keep those linger times down and ensure you aren't trying to put more than 1 on screen per player at a time. But that is ultimately it for the dev news and what we know so far with regards to Warden. And again, the notes on the compensation, you should have received it again. If you got the gold dragon wings instead of what you should have got, the pink Sylph wings, you should have got an in-game mail that gives you the pink Sylph wings then. Once again, a massive thank you to all of these channel members for their added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.